Hi guys, and welcome to another video lesson. Today we're going to be taking a look at an offbeat challenge. So straight off the bat, need to give 100% credit to the one and only Justin Patterson for the ideas in this drum lesson. He was my college drum tutor, massive influence on me, phenomenal drummer, brilliant teacher, definitely shaped my musical journey and my career, it's fair to say. Justin would often set teasers and challenges in the lesson, which is something I've tried to do in my lessons as well. And this one has stayed with me. There were lots of them and I've got them in a folder that I go back to from time to time, but this one has stayed in the memory banks all the time. I've tried to develop it and move it forward and make it mine as well, and I often use this in class, so I thought I'd share this one with you today. I think the original purpose of the exercises we're going to look at today was to develop limb independence and a good solid sense of time, and they are both definitely something you'll get from this and very valid and good reasons for practicing anything. For me personally, when I'm looking at an exercise, I don't just want the exercise to be an exercise. There's nothing wrong with just on a practice pad or on your drum kit working through something that is an exercise only. This is a very physical instrument and some things just require exercises like we do as human beings to keep ourselves fit and in shape. For me, I want to find a musical application for everything I'm studying as well. There's nothing wrong with just doing an exercise to improve a specific area like limb independence, coordination, your reading, your timing, your speed and so on. This is a physical instrument and exercise is required. That's fine. What I'm saying is I always like to try and find a musical application as well on top of that so I can apply it in my playing, on a gig, in a show, a recording or whatever it may be. I'm going to leave this fairly open-ended as you'll see in a bit. It'll be great to see what ideas you guys can come up with and how you can apply this exercise in your playing. So the challenge in question is based around an offbeat groove. The lesson is called Offbeat Challenge. Hopefully the clue was in the title. We normally play the offbeat with our lead hand on the cymbal like we do with most grooves. What we're going to do today is turn that around. We're going to play the entire offbeat groove one-handed. So for me, as a right-handed drummer, that means left hand only. Offbeat grooves are linear in nature. There are no unison notes being played. Obviously you can add extra bass drums and extra snare drums, which will fall on the hi-hat cymbal, but straight out the box, as it were, a standard offbeat groove is linear. So you can play it with just one hand. So this first exercise, 70 beats per minute, is an offbeat groove played using just the left hand and our lead foot on the bass drum. Here it comes. Okay, so here comes the tricky part. We're going to add bell patterns on the ride to the offbeat groove that we were just playing. We're going to start with beat 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, I can't remember if Justin taught me this straight away. He did have an annoying habit of setting a challenge and withholding some of the information until I came back for the following week's lesson, and then he would reveal tips and tricks on how to make it work. It's an interesting approach to teaching. I did quite enjoy it, if I'm brutally honest. So for me, when I'm trying to work these patterns out, I'm thinking of them as a movement rather than the notational value. So rather than thinking of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and I'm actually thinking of the movement. For me, that just makes these patterns slightly easier to deal with. You don't have to do that. You can think of it in just terms of counting the subdivisions. That's fine. You can combine subdivision counting and limb counting. We've talked about that before in areas like syncopation, where we looked at syncopated snares. We were counting 1 and 2, right, left, right, both. That's fine. If you've got another way of making sense of this, that's also fine. One thing I have found from teaching this over the years is everybody comes at it from a different angle and everybody seems to solve the different problems that arise from this in a different way, and that's great, that's fine. Experiment and see what works best for you. As I was saying, for me, it's all about the limb movement. So this first one with the ride on 1, 2, 3, 4, the movement is actually going to be right, left, then both left. So 1 and 2 and right, left, both left, and the pattern will repeat. The bass drum lands on the right every time. I'm not really thinking about that because it's my right foot and my right hand, so the word right covers both of those. I have done an awful lot of talking. I will play it for you at 70 beats per minute so you can see what I'm talking about. Here we go. So next up is E, the second semiquaver in the bar. So the movement for this would be foot, right, left, right, left. Now we've got to be careful that we don't play the wrong rhythm. This is where my sticking pattern counting can come unstuck a little bit. So the rhythm is 1 E and, 2 E and, 3 E and, 4 E and. If I play that on the snare, 1 E and, 2 E and, 3 E and, 4 E and. Now, when we put that up on the cymbals, the sticking pattern that we get is foot, right, left, right, left, foot, right, left, right, left. I'll play it for you so you can hear what I'm talking about. Right, so next up is the and. For me, I think this is the easiest one of all of the exercises we're going to look at. You don't have to agree with me on that, that's fine. But for me, I think this is the more straightforward pattern because both hands are coming down together. You've got foot, both, left, both, and that repeats round and round. I'll play it for you now, see if you agree. Next up is the ah. Now this is really tricky for a number of reasons. It comes immediately after the hi-hat. So the pattern is foot, left, right, left, right. So the left hand is taking the lead all the way through here. What you've got to be really careful of here is that you don't play the right sticking, but the wrong rhythm. So the rhythm is 1 and a, 2 and a, 3 and a, 4 and a. When we bring it over here, that gives us foot, left, right, foot, left, right. What we don't want is to play the correct sticking, but use the rhythm from a previous exercise, 1 E and. So foot, left, right, foot, left, right, and so on. The rhythm is the same all the way through. 1 and a, 2 and a, 3 and a, 4 and a. Here it comes at 70 beats per minute, so you can see and hear what I've been talking about. So however many years ago it was now when I was at college, oh my goodness, it was very, I'm really old. I'm not going to say how many years ago it was because it's far too long and I've just realised how old I am. So when I first looked at this with Justin, my teacher, that's where the lesson stopped. And my head was pounding and my brain was melting. It was just, I had to go away and really work really hard on each one of those exercises. And it is totally fine if you can't play any of those right now. I wouldn't expect you to have mastered them in the very short time we've had. Pause the video, go away and work on them. You may want to just spend time on one exercise this week. So just try and master the 1, 2, 3, 4 or the ands or whatever it is. That's fine. I did not get this down quickly. This was not something that I just practiced in one afternoon and had it sorted. Not by a long shot. Once I had got to grips with this though, I wanted to try and develop it and change it. And as I've taught it over the years, I've tried to come up with different ways of developing this idea. The first one is to put it together in a phrase. So rather than just separating each exercise out one at a time, I'm going to put them together. I'm going to play 2 bars of each. So 2 bars of 1, 2, 3, 4 with the right hand, then 2 bars of E, 2 bars of and, 2 bars of a, and I'll loop that round. Here it comes at 70 beats per minute. Again, as I've said before in previous videos, and I'll keep saying it every time I remember to say it, I did not start this at 70 beats per minute. If you need to pause the video and slow this down, 100% do that. I did not start playing this at 70 beats per minute, not even close, way back, much slower, and then worked up to this speed. I'm playing it at 70 now just so you can hear what we're aiming for in the long run. Right, once we've got 2 bars of each sorted, we're going to halve that, we're going to do 1 bar of each. The fewer the number of bars you play before changing, the harder this gets. So 1 bar of each, very, very tricky. Here it comes at 70 beats per minute. So this last exercise I'm pretty sure is one of mine. I don't think this was Justin's and I've stolen credit for it, although that is entirely possible, and apologies if that's true, but I'm going to claim this one as mine today. We're going to do 1 beat of each. So beat 1 is going to be on the right, then 2E on the right, then 3 and on the right, and then 4 ah. Got to be careful as we do the repeat, because we've got that ah on 4 and then 1 straight away. So you've got a double bell on the ride cymbal right next door to each other. I'm not sure if I mentioned that in the previous video. I should have mentioned that for the 2 bar and 1 bar ones. Be careful when you do those as well. There's a double bell in those as well. Sorry, I don't think I mentioned that. So I'm going to play this round at 70 beats per minute. Again, take your time on this one. Don't start at 70 if you don't want to. Slow it right down. This is evil, very complicated, very tricky. As I said, I'm quite proud of this one. So there you go, an offbeat challenge for you to work on. As I said before, full credit to Justin Patterson on that. Anyone who's been having lessons with me for a while will have heard me mention him. He's a hero in my life, absolutely phenomenal teacher and drummer, had a massive impact on me, as I said. So again, any excuse to give that guy some credit, be it video, person, lessons, whatever, I'm gonna take it. Thank you again, Justin, for this. Have some fun with it. As I've said, I've tried to develop Justin's idea and make it mine. Now, you take the baton, as it were, and do the same. What can you do? How can you develop this challenge to make it yours? That's it for today's lesson. I hope you enjoyed it, guys. If you've got any questions, please feel free to get in touch. If you're watching on YouTube, leave a comment down below. I will get back to you as soon as I can. Take care, stay safe, and enjoy your drumming.